the great city of Los Angeles, on the corner of 3rd and Fairfax Avenue, you'll find The Grove. The Grove is a modern mecca built perfectly for retail shoppers, diners, moviegoers, and many others. Every year, The Grove and the Farmers Market entertain and service more guests than Disneyland. One of those guests is Nick.
Hi, I'm Nick Solish, and I walk to The Grove 2 or 3 times a week.
In relation to The Grove, Nick lives up in this neighborhood. If he or one of his hundreds of neighbors walks to The Grove, they have to walk down this street. This is the Grove Drive. With beautiful Pan Pacific to the east, you might think it would be a delightful experience, but that would be far from the truth.
As you walk down the Grove Drive, you realize that there's very narrow sidewalks, several dangerous driveways you have to cross, and a lot of people. One of the big problems with these planter boxes, which encroach on the sidewalk and take up most of the space that used to be used for pedestrians. Now, it's great that we have trees and plants, but it's far more difficult to pass a fellow stroller coming in the other direction as I'm walking down. As you get a little further down, there's parked cars, and you get stuck between a narrow sidewalk with parked cars on one side and these big planter boxes on the other side. And then there's this, a gigantic, seemingly featureless fence that's part of the CBS backlot, which I believe could potentially have plants growing on it the same way that CBS grows plants on an identical fence running all the way down Beverly. So this is another dangerous alleyway you have to pass to get to the Grove. You kind of have to peek around the corner and make sure no one's coming. It's not that easy to see until you're actually in the intersection.
This is the crosswalk right outside the parking structure of the Grove. It allows 20 seconds to get across 4 lanes of traffic, meaning that if you don't start in the first 2 seconds of the light turning green and walk at a decent pace, you'll be stuck in the middle when the light turns red. We are rolling this a little faster, but notice Nick barely makes it across just in time. And it's not at all unusual to see a couple cars right in the middle of the crosswalk.
This is another incredibly dangerous part of the walk to the Grove. I love coming to the Grove, but look at this guy. He's about to hit me. You have to kind of peek around the corner. And then you get to walk. There's people trying to turn in from about 3 different directions. This is the front door to the Grove. Welcome. This is how pedestrians are meant to enter the Grove. So that's the front door to the Grove. And this is the fence that's supposed to keep people out, but this is how people are crossing through the fence illegally, which sort of shows that people want to have access from the park here, and they're willing to crawl through the dirt to get here.
There's only one crosswalk to Pan Pacific Park on the Grove Drive, and that's right here. And the sidewalk only goes to here. That's where Nick is.
So we've just crossed the street, and we're in the park, which is over here. So if this sidewalk were to continue, it would take us right to the front door of the Grove. But instead, it stops at this building, which I've never seen anybody use before.
We'd like to see the current sidewalk extend all the way down to here, and put another crosswalk here leading right to the Grove's front door.
Samuel Garrison, Vice President with Caruso Affiliated, and born and raised here in the neighborhood.
Mr. Garrison was nice enough to give us some of his time. We asked him if there were any plans to make the Grove Drive safer.
Well, we don't have any plans yet, but I think you may have just started that conversation. We're always looking to improve the pedestrian experience, make it safer and more accommodating for all of our guests.
Do you have any thoughts about a better connection between the Grove and Pan Pacific Park?
Well, Pan Pacific's one of the crown jewels of the LA City Park system. We should certainly find a better way for people here at the Grove to be able to access that park and vice versa. And I think it's a great conversation that we should start having. We want to make this the best possible place, and it's your Grove at the end of the day.
We're doing this project today because I believe we can make this experience better, both for the people in the neighborhood and for the businesses on this street, especially including the Grove. By making things safer, integrating the street with the park, and generally improving the experience for pedestrians, everyone wins.